Hello. Welcome to another Sunday night. And this week I can actually speak. So, can you please let me know if you can hear me? That would be most appreciated. I hope you are all having a good Sunday and that for any fathers out there, you have enjoyed a lovely Father's Day. Oh, Ben, thank you for that. I'm so pleased. Look at you with your spanner and everything. Thank you so much for volunteering for that. Um, so who do we have? Who do we have? Let's see, we've got Ben, we've got Alexander and Caroline and Lana, Top Guy Dave, Ginger Ali, Kate, Patrick with his spanner. Excellent. Good evening and welcome everyone. Crazy Solo, we've got Clara, Joe, Annie. Look at us. See, this is nice. And I've decided this evening, I think we should have a fun evening. I think we should sit back and relax and have smugs and everything. Oh, Avril and Tracy and Shell. Good morning, Shell, from all the way over there. Desi, hello. Janet, good to see you too. Crafting Lindy, hello. Miss Boydis. Cat, I am so much better, Cat, thank you, than I was last week or the week before was just ridiculously awful. And yes, Ginger Ali, you're absolutely right. Our big family of friends. And I think this evening we shall have a fun time. I mean, if anyone saw my last live on Friday night, you know I was having a fun time then with Mandy. Oh my goodness. Hi, Mary. Yes, to anyone who saw the live from Friday night, we had a barbecue at work. Evening, Paras in the Philippines. Yeah, Ashley, there will be more now that I'm healthier again. I'm actually, remind me to talk about that. But yeah, Friday afternoon, we had a barbecue at work. And then boss is like, I'm going fishing. Do you want to come and see where I go? And he took me to a place that's not even half an hour away from here, which, as you saw, was the most beautiful place with the loch. I went out in a boat and everything. I mean, me on a boat, really, not sensible. But we just had such a fun time. Kathleen came with us. She drove me home because obviously there was drinkies involved. But it was so lovely. It was such a relax after such a busy week. So, yes, a good time was had by all. So, if you haven't seen that, that's worth watching. It's like 3 minutes long or something just for a laugh at Mandy and I. Oh, thank you, Miss Boydis. Susan, hello from Kent. Welcome back. So, Digby, hello. Oh, Catherine, that absolutely was fun. That was complete madness. I was playing tug of war, up to my knees in water, in the dark, with a German Shepherd in some circular ring thing. Obviously, the German Shepherd won because who's going to argue with a German Shepherd? Can I just say? Yeah, it was really, really fun. Ashley, as you say, shopping. I was actually thinking today. Patrick had gone home, and I was sitting here. We were doing the sort of like, let's get ourselves sorted for the next week. And I thought, okay, I will do an Asda order. And I'm so glad I didn't because I was speaking to, was it Patrick's daughter went in? Or no, Kathleen came in. And she said that Asda was dreadful. She went shopping and there was so much stuff not available. Paris in the Philippines. Yeah, I saw Funky Prepper do that, and I'm going to wait until I have more information because otherwise I'll just scare myself. So that's why I decided tonight here we're going to do positivity. Oh, hiya Beth from Michigan. But yes, seemingly Asda, Kathleen went in and there was a whole lot of nothing. And I think Patrick's daughter had got an online order, or Mandy did, and the amount of substitutions was ridiculous. And as I say, I was thinking I'll do an online order and I'll get it in tomorrow. And I thought, you know, I'm not trusting what I'm going to get now because you don't know what's going to be there. Because they literally just go around the shop, and if the shop shelves haven't been filled up, then you don't get it. And that sort of goes back to the spending to save video that I did earlier in the week. And I know, I'm so sorry. All my videos were rubbish this week because I still hadn't recovered. And I was going back to work and I was working and I was coming in exhausted. And then I was putting up a video and it was just like, bleh. So apologies. They will be better this week. But yeah, when I'm talking about the spending to save, this going out to Lidl's on a Sunday morning when I can get so much reduced, that saves me in the long run. And going to the supermarket on a particular time with cash, when it's quiet, so I don't get grumpy with people, and it means I can take a big list or I can try and remember what I've got and I can do my shopping that way. So I've decided, yeah, I'm not particularly up for the online ordering just now. I want to go and do a proper shop where I can see the stuff and doing the thingy bobs. Like, do you know, because Kathleen has just left with a carrier bag full from my cupboards. So yes, I have to make sure that I've got enough for her as well as me. So, but yeah, there's Caroline saying Asda's terrible online. Ben, positive stream. Yeah, we're doing positive today. Lochleek Brown, bushcraft camping next weekend. Lots of food with good people. See, that is a good thing. However, there is a slight problem here with this. I don't seem to have suffered that much. But Mandy put up a picture the next day of the midgie bites. If you've heard about Scotland, you've heard about the midgies. Oh my goodness. And Kathleen came in today, and obviously it's not from Friday night because this is today, but the whole side of her face, they must have come in the window last night because she's got like midgie bites all over her face and up into her hair, and she's standing scratching and scratching because the Scottish midgie is a beastie unto itself. And if you get them, do you know, if you get a swarm, like Mandy said, she went down to the beach from the caravan, went to go and sit down and put her shoes on, but the chairs were under the trees, which is never clever. Midges love under trees. And she said minutes it took. She hadn't even fastened her shoes and her legs were covered in midges, so she had to go and run into the water. So Ben, be careful of the midges or whatever it is you have wherever you are. And if you come back all midgie bitted, we want a photo. We want to see you looking like an alien. Nina, hello, welcome over. Lana, yes, Lana, exactly. Thrown myself into many a loch to get away from the midges. Yes, we have all done that. And that's also, there's been times when, although we haven't had a loch, there's been times I've seen me at my parents' old house because they had a lot of trees there. I have run in and literally thrown myself in the shower to get rid of the midges. See, look, I'm scratching even talking about them. I mean, what is that about? So yes, that is my thing. So Ben, be very careful of the beasties when you are doing the camping. So, oh, that's right. Patrick, oh my goodness, I remember that. I had a lot of towels. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do with the towels? And we've got a local dog rescue just less than 10 miles up the road. Perthshire Abandoned Dog Society, commonly known as PADS. And I gave them a phone and said, look, can you use this for drying the dogs when they come in out the rain? They're like, oh, yes. So Patrick drove me down and I was like, right, I'll just go because it was COVID time. So you couldn't go in. And I had just said to them, look, I'll leave them in a polythene bag at the gate. And I bing-bonged the gate and spoke to them. And as Patrick said, he was sitting there for maybe 5 minutes and took him a few minutes before he's like, what on earth? And then he remembered, because of course he'd lived in London for so long, he'd forgotten all about midges. And by the time I got back in the car, he was like, get the windows open, we need to move. And he took off like a bat out of hell to get all the midges out the windows because he was just getting eaten alive, bless him. So yes, midges are a thing. Insect repellent when I visited. Yes, Crazy Solo, insect repellent. One of the best, weirdly enough, is Avon Skin So Soft. The original, not the pretty smelling ones that you get now. But the original Avon Skin So Soft, it's really good. My dad used to make me get that for the thing. You get the gnats down south just as bad. Yeah, see? Gnats. Things. Avon Skin So Soft. Original flavour. That's the best one. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, we do every so often. We'll take stuff down to that thing because, you know, it's local. They look after dogs and stuff. So we just take stuff down to them. Whether we take down cash. I think when we did a Christmas event in the local town, Pads was one of the places that we did. Bear with me. Yeah, we're not on tea tonight due to the heat. I have got the fan directed right at me. Just because it's so hot. And yeah. Mosquitoes, not my... Yeah, I've never actually met mosquitoes. Well, I don't think so. I've been to Florida and I've been to the Dominican Republic. And I didn't get bitten too badly, so we're all good. But yeah, DEET, I don't know that. Not a clue what that is. But yeah, I think for, you know, whatever beasties you've got, wherever you are, local people know what is best for them. And certainly midges. I think there was something else called shoe. But midges definitely the Skin So Soft. Mosquitoes and black flies. Yeah, see, not liking the sound of that at all. Insane that. There I was, out in a loch, in the middle of the water, in the dark. Well, not quite dark. Hiya, Mary. Nice to see you. But they gave me a fishing rod to cast, and I actually cast it really well the first 3 times. After that, it was a complete disaster, and I had to hand it back. But the guys caught a fish. I actually held a proper fish. I was very brave. Mandy thought it was hysterical because although I was on the boat, which was actually a dinghy with a plank, you've got no idea how sore my rear end is at this precise moment from sitting on a plank of wood seat for over an hour on a boat that was bobbing up and down. It just was like, oh my goodness. It was absolutely beautiful, I have to say. It really is. It was such a beautiful place. And I held a fish, like a proper fish. I was like, oh my goodness. And then Kathleen started bopping up and down, and Mandy was trying to paddle, and I'm like, will you please sit down? And yeah, seemingly I was a complete cowardy cat. But what can I say? It was fun. So it has to be done. You know, that just is one of the things that has to be done. As does my plum jam that I still have not done because I didn't make my jam this weekend because obviously I had to recover on Saturday from Friday night. So my plum jam still has to be done. Luckily, they were plums that you have to ripen at home, so they're still good. They haven't got wrinkly yet. So we've been doing that. And as I say, shopping will be getting done this week because we need to stock up again, especially after Kathleen's visited. Goodness gracious. So yeah, that's been my sort of bring you up to date with what we have been doing, because we haven't particularly been doing much. DEET is shorthand for the chemical that is active ingredient in many insect repellents. Oh, thank you, Digby. I will have a look for that the next time I'm into the shops, finding insect repellent. Oh, good grief, Cindy. A very warm Arizona at 37.7. Oh my goodness. I think we hit 20 today and I'm like a roasted potato. Oh, Lana, you got Greek yogurt. Those flatbreads are fabulous. They're just so easy. just makes such a difference. Jungle Formula, yes, I have seen that one. Avril, we need to spend more time outdoors. Yes, we do. However, I do have a caveat for that. I am Scottish. I am overweight. We have midges, and it's summer. So if I'm going outside just now, I'm going outside at like 6 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night when it just is cooler. We did have Patrick had a friend down in London. I think it was maybe the second summer I'd gone to visit, like proper in the summer, and I was so, it was so hot, and of course London, it was built up, so I would go out to the shops at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I would come in the flat and sit with a fan until like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I just wouldn't move unless Patrick took me in the car somewhere to underneath car park and we went into a shopping mall. And this guy said, he was like, is Karen allergic to the sun? Because she's just so bad with the sunlight. And Patrick's like, no, she's just Scottish. So yes, we don't particularly go out. But yes, we do need to go out more. I just need to go and work out my timings. Jill, you made it. Hello. I haven't actually watched your video about the Shetland wheel yet, but I do intend doing that once I finish this. Yeah, Caroline, 7 till 10 a.m. and it's too hot. Yeah, well, you know, we were Fulham Hammersmith, and I was completely useless. It just was dreadful. And even when I went out at night, there wasn't a bite in there in London. It was very, very weird. Do you know, because here normally once you hit 10 o'clock at night, even in the middle of summer, you'll get a bit of a chill in the air, but there was no chill. So that was quite weird. So there you go. Got a downpour, at least it'll cool down a bit. Yes, cooling down is good. Mary, you made the flatbread. Yay, you. It's so easy, isn't it? I really do like it. And it's just one of those that you're like, what can I have to eat? I fancy a curry, can't be bothered boiling rice. I will have that. So we can do that, which is good. I like that. Now, what else did I see there? Oh, Caroline, you've got rain all afternoon. Yeah, but that's still good. See, that's good for the plants. Look at me. I grew stuff. So, yeah. Evening, am I buying silver yet? Oh, no. No. We don't do that. Giving my money away to someone else to look after? I think not. I am basically property or cash. Thank you very much. It says me still got a mortgage to pay, but you know what I mean. Florida's evil hot. Oh, bugs and heat. Water is cold and fresh. 4 seasons. See, Catherine, I get you with that. 4 seasons is perfect. I like the change. I like knowing that it's not going to be long until we have, you know, cooler weather. I can work it out by the months, sort of-ish. But yes, you know, water for the plants. I went out and watered the plants today before the sun hit them, and I watered them tonight after the sun had gone away and it cooled down. So I'm quite proud of myself with that. I've remembered that bit. And rain is good for the farmers. Oh, yeah. I have to say, there's a whole thing going on here. Years ago, I was at a community council meeting, and somebody who was quite new to the area, can I just mention farming area? I am surrounded by fields. As Patrick will tell you, there are hundreds and hundreds of fields around me. This is a rural area. It's an agricultural area. And the farms are obviously on either side of the villages, and the tractors go through and the combines go through and stuff like that. Hi, Elisa. But somebody actually came to the community council and said, we need to do something about the tractors going through the town. What? What do you mean about the tractors? Hi, Jane. And they actually complained about tractors going through the town. And I'm like, are you having a laugh? And I wasn't actually on the community council at that time. I did a local website. I had started a website just for local news. And they're sitting going, well, do you know this? And I'm sitting there going, excuse me. And I mean, they really didn't like when I did that, because I constantly was like, excuse me, can I have a word? So of course I stuck my hand up and I was like, excuse me. And they're like, yes, Karen. It's like, how can we slow the tractors down? They're limited to 30 miles an hour. Yes, they're noisy. It is noisy, but it's a farming community. You can't shut them up. Seemingly, someone actually called the police on the farmers because it was a thing we had at school. The farmers' boys would never be in at harvest time. Never in on time for school. Hiya, Justine. They were always late because they were out doing the combine till like 2, 3 in the morning, because if it was going to rain the next day, the farmers went and did everything at that time. Someone actually phoned up the police to say they wanted the combines to stop at 8 o'clock at night. Well, I'm sorry, that's their food. You need to get it in. And then in later years, I'm sure you've all seen the news with there's people saying, oh, we can't possibly, you have to move the cows because it's too smelly, the cows make too much noise, the chickens make too much noise, things like that. And you're like, what did you expect when you moved there? Yeah, Cindy, people buy homes near airports. What do you expect? Did you think they're going to stop the planes just for you? Oh, Avril, well done you on the sprouts. Yeah, you. Best Willow, hello, good to see you. Ben, you've got that, yeah, escort the friends combines. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. People are just like, oh, yes, well, you're like, no, this is, and the whole reason I started this part of the conversation is that it's part of how I know the changing of the seasons. Once the farmers start combining, I know it's not long till autumn. Once the farmers start ploughing, I know it's not long till summer. You know, and it's how we do it. Rainbow Obsidian, hello again, welcome. And Caroline, Marketown in Yorkshire didn't appreciate the place till I left. Hi, Paula. Yeah, and I think that's a funny thing. You don't appreciate some of those things. It's like Patrick when he drives through to me, and he still is so impressed at some of the scenery because he's lived in London for 40 odd years. Even me on Friday night when we were sitting on this stupid dinghy in the middle of a loch, and they said, look at the scenery. And I turned and I was absolutely gobsmacked. I live here. I shouldn't be gobsmacked by the scenery, but I was. It was absolutely beautiful. And it's as I say, it's less than half an hour away from me, and I didn't even know it was there. If you live in the country, you get country noise and smells. Same in the cities. Exactly. It's one of those things. I used to laugh at Patrick. You know, I'd go out in the balcony and I could time how long I've been out by the number of planes that went overhead. Because he lived not that far from Heathrow, I think it was. Yeah, 4x4. The townies moving to the countryside. But yes, farming community is fabulous. Rainbow, I would love to agree with you, but I really haven't been able to grow anything very much because I didn't do that. Patrick, I hope never to lose that. Yeah, it's even lovely when you come in and you go, oh my God, that place looks so lovely. I love that. That's my bit. Do you know, he's loving my bit. I like that. Hiya, Sarah. Birds and smells of grass and flowers. Yeah, do you know what I love? Oh, I'm sorry. Digby's just asked this question. Does Patrick still have a Scottish accent with him living mostly away? Is it mixed? No, he was originally Glasgow and he still has a Glasgow accent. It wasn't it was still there. I mean, it's certainly very, very obvious in London, but for me, it was quite a mild Scottish accent. However, what I didn't know, Kathleen and I had gone down to visit. So the fact that I took Kathleen down, Patrick and I had probably been together about 2 years by then. And we were going up an escalator, and somebody was coming down and said to him, "All right, mate," in English, you know. And Patrick turned and he went, "All right, mate, how are you?" And I was like, "Who are you and what have you done with my Patrick?" Because my Patrick's Glasgow. And he wasn't. And he could speak proper London. And I was and I mean, Kathleen and I literally on the escalator going, did you hear that? He could switch, which was so funny. But yeah, he is Glasgow, and he's kept the Glasgow. And of course, his family are now saying that he's more Scottish now that he's been up here so much. Good thing I don't live in. Yeah, no, couldn't do the ferry that often. It's a whole conscious thing for me to be in a boat. Don't give it crazy Western patterns aren't normal. With some Scottish accents. Rainbow, that is why I did the Christmas poem. Do you know the all through the house, nothing was stirring, not even a mouse thing? Because a lot of people had said when I first started this channel that they liked the accent relaxed them. So that was why I did the reading of that Christmas poem at Christmas time. That was like my Christmas present to everyone that loved the accent. And yes, Patrick, you did change accents at the border. It was ridiculous. Hi, Anne. And yes, Digby. He can still speak proper Ouija. Crazy. So yeah, you do it when you go visit family. Caroline does it. Yep. Farmers go practical 24/7. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to go out when I was younger. Yeah, I've still got the cough. I picked berries in the summer to make money. That was what the kids did. There was a van came round the housing schemes and picked up all the kids. There was some of the mums went as well, and we would go out and we'd pick berries. I also picked tatties, potatoes. Not a good plan when you're one of the tallest kids about. That was a lot of bending. I was useless at picking potatoes. Totally useless. I mean, it was really good money from a child's point of view, but no, I was not built for picking potatoes. Raspberries I could do because that was standing up. Strawberries, again, lots of bending. I wasn't very good at that at all. So, but yeah, that's how as kids we used to make money. And the jam berries I buy is still from the same farm where I used to pick berries as a kid. But of course now you can't do that. Potatoes. I know I need to pack my potatoes. Listening while waiting for the hedgehogs. Oh, that's nice. Okay, Joe, I did not know that you could get mushroom farms. That's a new one on me. But I feel better knowing that other people picked things as kids. All right, see you later, Digby. Give the dogs a hug for me. Best Willow, bit by collecting aluminium cans. Good plan. Always had gut ache with the fruit picking. Yep. Oh, you've already harvested your potatoes, Sarah. I'm jealous. I haven't even planted mine yet. Mushroom farms in Surrey. I did not know that. See? And we also now have the rule, we were laughing about it on Friday. I am now banned from peas in the pod because I love peas in the pod. And I used to go and steal them from local gardens. Only the bits that I could reach when I put my arm through the hedge or through the fence. So I would do that. But what happened was then just recently, well, in the last few years, you can buy peas in the pod in the supermarket. So I would buy a whole lot of peas in the pod in the supermarket. And what happened? I ate them all and gave myself such a stomach ache. So I've now banned myself because once I start, I just know I can't stop. So there's no point. So yes, that's my thing. Yeah, Lana, I also would like to grow mushrooms. Good accent. Oh, that's nice, Catherine. I like that. But yeah, has anyone grown mushrooms from those little pack things? Do you know the boxes that you get? Does anyone know anything about the mushroom things? Because I use a lot of mushrooms. And so I end up drying them or freezing them. But it'd be really nice to have proper real mushrooms. But I don't know what packs are best. So if anyone has tried that, yeah, see. And you had 2 mushroom boxes in your airing cupboard. Leanne has tried them and it was a complete failure. Yeah, you see, I looked at the reviews on the website for the mushrooms, and some people were like, oh my goodness, it was fabulous. And other people were like, oh my goodness, it was awful. So if anyone has mushrooms or has grown mushrooms, then please let me know what ones are good so that I can try them. Living a rural and it was very hot, told her it was nature, and what she was smelling was the vapours from the eucalyptus trees. Oh, how cool! HelloFresh is a rip-off, 2 small pours. Yeah, Nelly, I have to say, it's that Gusto and HelloFresh, it's not something I have thought of. Just because, what are they going to give me? Grew something in a kit, you get 2 crops, but not loads. So go for the fancy ones. Okay. Joe, that is wicked. I love it. Engaging a smiley face into the mushrooms. That would be so cool. I would thoroughly enjoy finding one of them. That would get me so excited. It's like, wow, like someone's put smiley faces on mushrooms. And yes, we do like oyster mushrooms, I have to say. But yeah, that is something, as I say, the mushrooms I definitely am looking to try. Just because, as I say, I eat so many of them. And just sometimes it has to be like proper raw mushrooms. Frozen or dehydrated just doesn't hack it the same. Especially when you're doing a stir fry and you want many mushrooms. Fried mushrooms really have to be proper raw ones. What can I say? So, yeah. But so far, as I'm saying, we're going for positivity today. And positivity, as I said earlier in the week, we've had over 2 million views now as a channel, which is fabulous and surprising and like, oh my goodness. We have stocked up, prepped up. I have learned how to make jam. I have learned how to make bread. I have learned how to stock up foods and stuffs and found out what I eat and what I actually don't eat. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock. There's some stuff that's been up the stairs for about a year now. So now we're going, we're giving that away. Can I forage mushrooms in my area? Yes, we can. And but I don't know them. But one of the guys at work, I didn't realize he forages for mushrooms. And the boss had said, oh, yeah, he goes and and I was like, well, I need mushrooms. You need to get me mushrooms. Oh, my goodness. So he brought in, and I mean, like a huge basket of mushrooms, because obviously there's so many. He got so many, but they're only there for a short time. Oh, the best Willow, I would not advise anyone to forage mushrooms. I am not telling anyone to forage mushrooms unless you absolutely know what you're doing, and looking it up on a website or something is not good enough. You need to know what you're doing. But this guy he's been doing foraging mushrooms for ages, and a lot of them went to waste because they didn't use them quick enough, because it was a bunch of guys. So I was like, bring me the mushrooms and I'll dehydrate them. Huge box of mushrooms. The dehydrator, I think, went on 4 loads. So I sliced them, I dehydrated them, powdered them, gave them some in slices. I did try frying some, but they had a lot of the little liney things? The like wings, whatever they are, the stuff underneath. And what I didn't realise is that's actually really slimy, and it was too much slimy texture for me. So what I did was I dried it and powdered it. And I gave the guys up a whole load of dried mushrooms, powdered mushrooms, because, as Anne says, I have done that. Kathleen doesn't like the texture of mushrooms, so I put mushroom powders and everything. Cindy, gills, thank you. See, I knew there was a proper word for them. So, yeah, within 24 hours, the boss had bought a dehydrator. So he's ready to get that. And I'm like, don't forget to give me some mushrooms this year as well, please, even although you don't need them back. I still want some because, as I say, I don't know the mushrooms, but he does. So I am not going foraging. Just no. It is, as Best Willow says, it's way too iffy if you don't know. Exactly. Yeah, I've still got that, Janet. But what can I say? Kettle barking had to constantly spray them with water, but I had no place to keep them cool below 16 degrees. Okay, so my house is not going to be below 16 until the autumn now. So that's always good to know. Thank you for that. Yeah, see, there's Rainbow saying get some at the farmer's market. Our farmer's markets are awful. Our farmer's markets are so expensive because there was originally like your markets, and that was where you got the cheap stuff, and that was where there was the cheaper butcher meat that came from farmers and your cheaper veggies, etc. And the markets sort of went away. They weren't as they weren't as popular for a while. And then they started farmers markets, and farmers markets were the higher end, shall we say. This was your pure sourdough bread and, your organic steaks and things like that, which local people couldn't afford. Certainly here in, as I say, it's a very rural market or a very rural area. So the farmers markets here are really quite expensive. However, luckily, one of the girls who works by me is she's in the farming community. So I asked her what butcher to go to that's a proper farmer that's not going to rip me off. So I have that to do. So I now know where to go. Who have we got? Hi, watch your videos while not using personal YouTube. My name's Jazz, by the way, because it doesn't say my name. We have a market here, says Fruitvale. Well, hello. It's good to see you. I'm glad you've taken the plunge. And I have got no problem with you not using your name, Jazz. Because, it took me a while to actually decide to say mine. Yeah, you've got one, but it's all artisan vegan. Yeah, you see things like that. There's loads of that. Oh, a watch store. I haven't seen one of them for a while. In fact, I haven't seen an awful lot of stores for a while. What I am proud of, here we have an ironmonger. There is a local ironmonger's. It's the lady who runs it now is actually a girl I was at school with. It was her parents' shop, and Kathleen got sent up for paint for my kitchen, and I wanted paint for my kitchen. And Kat's like, "What colour do you want?" I was like, "I don't know. Get me Peely Wally pink." And Kathleen looked at us. I mean, she looked at me like I was completely stupid. And I was like, "Go up to Morag, tell Morag it's for me, and tell her I want Peely Wally pink." And she came back with the perfect colour. And that's what your local shop's all about, because your local shop, if you've grown up with them, and exactly as Rainbow's saying there, it's neighbours, local communities, we can take care of one another. And we can. It's Ironmonger, Best Willows, a hardware store where you can go and buy like one screw if that's all you need, as opposed to the big out of town places where you have to buy 20 screws. $8 for a dozen. Ow! Oh, Cindy, that's bad luck. That is not good. We don't like that at all. But in saying that, yeah, that's what our farmers markets are. They are really like artisanal. This is all organically grown and it's brought in from wherever, and it's this, that, and special. So yeah, that's not good. It's the same this week will be lettuce, as it's in abundance and more growing. Yeah, I have lettuce. That's the little plants that I bought when I was at the market. So I have lettuce. That is my prawn cocktail is up for next week. So we will be doing that. Patrick. Oh, Ben beat you. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, councils are charging an arm and a leg for farmers to pitch a stall at the market pub, possibly. But oh, now Lana, you make a good point. Patrick said that. Because when I first started going down to London, there was 3 or 4 markets, like the old style markets, where the locals went to. There was 3 or 4 of them that we went to. We did a whole lot. By the last time, well, not even the last time, probably about 2 years ago was the last time we were at a market. And there was one left. And then eventually we went to Covent Garden, and it was just tat, basically. The proper people didn't go there. But Patrick had said something that there was people who, like, the ownership of the market changed, and then the prices went up, and it cost them more, and they had to have more like health and safety and everything. So that made a difference as to who was going there and who wasn't. It was £8 a pound. Another there, $1 a pound. Yeah, see. Yeah, I think that's right, Margie, that they do vary. If you can find one that's actually got local farmers trying to do local stuff, it's not too bad. Don't know what's going on with that bit. As I say, they were never called farmers markets before. They were just markets. And that's where you went and you got local produce. And as I say, once they sort of started closing down, the next one came in and it was called farmers markets, and it was all artisanal and specialist rather than the guys actually coming in. Christina, how you doing, sweetheart? Great to see you. Yeah. Maggie, that is it. We've actually got, there was a place along the road, and it was just when the farmers were starting to struggle, and they started a farm shop. And it was, as you say, it was the surplus, and it was cheap. It was the stuff they couldn't sell to the supermarkets. Then they opened a wee cafe, and Mum, Dad, and I used to go to the cafe quite a lot and get the stuff, like your dirty carrots that still had the mud on them and stuff like that, and the local potatoes. And now, Patrick and I would be struggling to afford lunch for 2 at that cafe. it's all like going up a level. Let's see, local market, 2 veg stalls, prices of the stalls tripled, so they'd go down to 1. Yeah, see, I think that's happened to a lot of people, Anne. The open air markets, yeah, that was the ones where it used to be cheap. Oh, God, yeah, small town, independent shops, yeah, they're the expensive ones. Charity shops, yeah, that's like my town as well. Local market has a few. Well, make sure you buy off them, Miss Yorkshire Prepper, because otherwise they're not going to be there. Try and save the local farmer, as opposed to the posing one that comes in and out. Used to be a market hall, I'm not sure if it's still going. Yeah, our local market's it's died a death. Maggie, I'm proud of you, but wouldn't it be me? Miss Yorkshire Prepper, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think that's something that we should all appreciate is I know, I mean, dear goodness, I know the local shops here are so expensive. But when you know, like, as I say, Morag, who runs the ironmonger / hardware store, and I went to school with her, and it was her parents' shop. So what we do is we try and get stuff from her shop. Like if you saw the seed for the birds in the winter, we didn't get it in the big supermarkets. We got it from the local hardware shop to give her the business. Now, yes, it possibly cost us a couple of quid more. But to be honest, that was money from the channel. So we spent that little bit more just to help the local business keep turning over. It's like we've got 2 butchers in the town. One is a very, very big butcher and is making loads of money, and he's obviously a multimillionaire by now. And the other one's a small local butcher. So that's where we go. We go to the small local butcher and try and do that. Now, I cannot do that every week. I can't afford to eat like that. But I can afford maybe once every 3 to 6 months. And if I do that every 3 to 6 months, and Mandy does that every 3 to 6 months, then we can keep supporting the local businesses. And it's just such a difficult thing to do because their costs are going up so much. But if we don't support them, they're not going to be able to keep going. And obviously that was going through my head because I spoke to the girl who works along from us, who's been really big in the farmers. Well, she was born into farming. She's married into farming. And she knows all these people. So that was why I asked her about what butcher, and she's told me what butcher to go to in the town, what butcher to go to that's out of the town, that's bigger, so that I am supporting local farmers. And yes, we do have it. Oh, Charlotte, hello, sweetie. Oh, yeah, good point, Cindy. Yeah, they do toss some. Ben, yes, we do have some trust boxes. Yep, they didn't last very long because the kids got in about them and just stole everything. Maggie, yes, we can fish in Scotland for food. I'm lucky the boss, he fishes for enjoyment. It's his relaxation. And so I've said to him, bring me some fish. And he's like, oh, I can do that. Do you know, but I'll still have it. And I was like, no head, no tail, no nothing. Bring me fish I can eat. Don't be giving me any that I need to actually be doing icky stuff for, because I have an agreement with myself. And that when it comes down to having to do anything with game or fish or butchering or all that, I do not have to do that. I have complete faith in myself because my dad's family used to do that. I have complete faith in myself that if it was for survival, I would be able to do that. However, I don't have to at the moment. So I'm quite happy to go to the local butchers and go to the local fishmonger people and go to the boss when he catches lots of fish and stuff. And so, yeah. So, yes, Maggie, we can fish for food. And yeah, Rainbow, that's what I'm thinking is, if we all just do once every so often, as I say, go to the more expensive shop or just keep with your local people, there will be other people to fill in the gaps. And yes, Charlotte, service is normally a lot better. Yes, it's that bit more expensive, but yeah, once you find somewhere, because I know I've tried a local greengrocer and yeah, their standard is not that good. So yeah, I have another one that I started going to instead. But some do have some problems. Some areas will end up with all stolen goods. Yeah, that's what happened with us. Rainbow, there was a few that put up on Facebook. I saw them on Facebook with the thing. Trades baked goods to local duffers who fish. They bring clean frozen fillets and leave with a baggie of date pinwheels. I like that idea, Maggie. I can bake, I can make jam. I can do bribery and corruption for foods. I'm quite happy to swap foodies. The post before it's taught as a young woman. Yeah. Now you eat a lot. Absolutely. And it's one of those things. Yorkshire Prep, are you going back up to Blair Gowrie? Oh, that will be the cat that opened the door behind me. I was wondering what that was there. Oh, Blair Gowrie. It is huge for raspberries and strawberries. Blair Gowrie is one of the best Perthshire areas for soft fruit, like, ever. It is so good. Mom is generally awesome and quite cute in a widow. I think that gets her extra fish. If it works, then don't argue with it, Maggie. Absolutely. You're going to go picking fruit. Oh, absolutely. Needs to be done. Yes, hello, Kitty. Kitty can just wait till I'm finished. We're not having this thing again when I walk away and my microphone comes out and it all goes squinty. I think we had quite enough of that the last time. Okay, so I've got about 8 minutes till I'm done. Does anyone have any questions? Apart from, aren't we fabulous? Is the cat coming up? Is she going to come somewhere? Come on then. Don't be so horrible. Look, say hello, Kitty. No. Just, oi, settle for 2 seconds. There you go. There's the baby. See? Just never wants to come and say hello. Thanks for the channel. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Cool box at the bottom of the road to the mountain on Arran with chocolate bars, cans of pops, and seriously, that was a clever thing to do because catching people before they go shopping is a good plan. Have I looked into water bathing eggs in lime? I have, but you have to get the not washed eggs, and I haven't found someone that I trust yet. So I need to go and ask Marjorie again who I should get my eggs from, and she will know people. That was the cat hitting the table. Sorry. And yes, absolutely, Kitty cameo with the hi Raven, bye Raven, just ridiculous. But yeah, water glassing. I did think about that because I've got a couple of big jars. And yeah, I know they need to not be washed. So yes, restore my faith in humans. Thank you, Rainbow. And just on the restoring faith of humans, I have had an email back from the food train. So I've asked them if Mandy and I can go up on Wednesday or Thursday night. So hopefully we will be able to give last month's donation because I'm still waiting to give last month's donation. So hopefully we'll get that to the food train. See, this pussycat. See, sitting on the chair. So hopefully we should be able to donate to the food train. So thank you to everyone who sits through the adverts. I know it's a chore, but it does let us as a channel donate. So hopefully Wednesday or Thursday we should be able to go up there. Thank you, Rainbow. That's nice. And I have frozen some eggs. I haven't actually tried to use them, but I must try that. Could I have chickens of my own? Oh, no. Way too many cats around here, plus like a postage stamp as a garden. And trust me, the neighbours would not be happy with that. So, yeah. We won't be doing our own chickens, because no. I mean, I did think about it, because there's that rescue thing on Facebook where you can rescue the ex-battery hens, and I was all for, I could have a chicken coop, and then I looked into it, and yeah, you see, Maggie, that exactly. But then when you look at it, and you've got to have so much space, and you've got to have a decent run, and they've got to have this and that, and I was like, I can't do that. Silly neighbours. Oh, I have very silly neighbours. I actually have very good neighbours, I have to say. I have a slightly older couple who live next door, and they're so happy. They seemingly, before they moved here, they had quite dreadful neighbours. It was all noisy and horrible. And so they're, when I had said I was thinking about moving into Perth, and they're like, why, who's going to come and live here? What are you? And I was like, what? It's all right. And they're like, no, you're like the best neighbour ever, because we never hear you. So yes, that's the thing. So run through that when I'm busy. Thank you, Catherine. That's really nice. Christina, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for making it. Kirsten, that is so nice. Thank you very much. And I will be back to normal this week. Forever home on her freezer and takes on old battery hens and abandoned city hens, welcomes them to their forever. I like that. That's nice, Maggie. See, we can do that. We can do things like that. But yeah, I don't think as I say, I don't think the neighbours would love me for having chickens, and there is way too many cats. I think there's probably about 8 cats in this cul-de-sac alone. So yeah, we're not going to bring cats into that at all. I have quite enough. Thank you, Raven. Yes, look, Torag, pussycat. Here, you. Oh, I know, and my baby. See, there's the Raven. Torag. None of the eggs in UK shops have been washed until we change the eggs. It's unlawful for egg producers to wash them. Grass monster, I did not know that. Ooh. I shall go investigate and see. Cats that sit amongst the hens. Uh-huh. I wouldn't be trusting cats that sit amongst the hens, Anne, I have to say. Just no. Oh, did I tell you about the falcon when I worked at the falconry? I did. I'm sure I've told you this, but I'll tell you again quickly. When I worked at the falconry, one of the falcons got out. And no, it was a Harris hawk. I'm sure I told you this last week, and it came back with a chicken like that size. It was like 3 times the size of the hawk. And it got it. So I'm trusting no pussycats with any chickens. Yorkshire Prepper, once I'm back at it, we should do a live feed together. Good plan. I shall go subscribe right now. If I am not already subscribed. I think I might be, but I will go and check. Hens can be vicious cat. Oh, Anne, I can't have chickens. I'm so accident prone. If hens are vicious, I'm not allowed hens at all. That just, no. Goodness. No mullock could get pecked. They are creatures of prey. Okay, so now everyone's telling me the chickens are creatures of prey. Me. That falls over at the sight of a matchstick, never mind standing on a matchstick, and now you're saying get creatures of prey in your garden. Not going to happen. Patrick would have a heart attack. Definitely not. Not a good plan. So, yes. Right, I am going to go, and I'm going to get some more water. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I've had a lovely time. I hope you have a fabulous rest of what is Sunday or Monday, if you're there. Yes, pay attention to Ben. Please hit like on the way out. That would be much appreciated. Kitten saved me from a mean Tom turkey. Yeah, that's good. Layla. So that's why they aren't washed. If you don't wash them, you don't need to put them in the fridge. Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone, so much. Live, I've just started doing 8:30 on a Sunday night, UK time. I have got no idea what that is everywhere else. Can anyone, other places in the world, please put up what time that is? It's 8:30 here on a UK. So, yeah. And I'll see you tomorrow night after work. and I will be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and the world will be a happy place. Catch you later.